Greetings from Seoul, Korea, and welcome to the GSL. Can you hear me okay, Dan?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Can you? I can't hear you. I think my volume's turned off my headsets. We are here at the GSL. I'm going to have to get my audio fixed. I don't know what's going on. Actually,
push it in more.
You know what's the problem
there you
is
go.
that during the setup, when they were setting up the stage day, I guess I didn't plug it all in. Sorry about that. All right, we're here at the GSL, Code S, and we have a lot of exciting matches today, Artosis.
Yes, we do, Tasteless. By the way, I'm feeling much better today. I'm not completely
He's still
well.
a little bit sick.
I'm not going to be able to yell too much, but I feel so much better than yesterday. I'm not going to look like a zombie today, so thank you for all the kind wishes from everyone.
You're just a little guy, man. You're suffering.
Guy.
You were a suffering, sick human being.
That's true.
And you had to work all day yesterday. That's hard.
Yeah, I worked all day yesterday. It was
rough.
crazy. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good today, and we have a very exciting.
There he is.
It's Nesty.
It's Nesty.
He's walking.
He's going to come on camera. There he is.
I can feel his Gosu aura pulsing through my body.
Creep starts to appear on Tasteless's
like,
face. It's like the
another
stigmata,
creep
but it's
here.
creep.
It's not a weird birthmark. It is creep.
Yeah.
Look, man, this is going to be a pretty epic day. We start off with about the best Terran versus Terran you could ever ask to see.
Yes, it's unbelievable. MVP against Bomber.
Yeah.
Now, it is, in my strong opinion, that MVP is actually better TVT than Bomber, but historically, Bomber has done really well against MVP. He really has. He beat MVP in the Code Finals once, and in most of their matchups, most times they met, in fact, in the MLG Global Invitational that JP and myself are commentating, in the winner bracket, Bomber took out MVP as well. So, Bomber's been doing good against MVP.
Yeah, there's a chance that MVP could win. Bomber and MVP, they're gods, but they're different types of gods. MVP
really
is
good.
Always really consistently good.
Bomber is more like Hercules. All right, and MVP is Zeus.
Wow, actually, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty all right.
Actually, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm actually really impressed with you right now.
So
you are back, Artosis.
I don't know what to say. That's it.
This guy.
You're making me feel all like this, Tasteless.
Like a little happy emoticon.
Yeah.
When I had that shirt, I'd wear that in the States. Nobody knew what that was.
I know, but
I was like, really?
I've had complex emoticon shirts on here, and girls knew. Girls knew what they were.
Remember that. You get an emoticon T-shirt. Yeah. Girls in Korea are going to recognize it. Everyone's going to know.
Knows, man.
People are like, what is that? I'm like, you don't see the face? All right. Here is the bracket so far. As you could see yesterday, Clyde, MMA, Happy, and Coca are the survivors. Today we have MVP against Bomber, Nesty against Virus, Gonzi against Lenok, and finally, Dongre Gu against Supernova. All Protosses have been eliminated.
That's right. Only Terrans and Zergs left. Yep, it's like an alien movie, Tasteless. An alien movie without Predator in it.
Yeah, it's like Aliens versus Predator, except with just actually aliens.
Just aliens versus humans, man. Like Alien 4. No, not Alien 4. Any other alien.
Yeah, please not Alien 4.
Well, I tell you, it has the
3
best
got a lot
death
of
scene
crap.
there's ever been anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually
No, I know. Wait, let me guess. I think I know the scene. The part where the alien, there's a hole in the spaceship, and he gets sucked against it, and it sucks his organs and body.
Sucks him out at the size of...
He's like,
imagine your whole body being sucked out through that right there.
That would
Look at that.
Suck.
You are such a nerd. Oh, I wish I didn't know you.
Alien 4 is actually... I don't think it's that good.
Alien was made forever ago. Like, the first Alien movie was 79 or something.
The movie Alien, if people haven't seen the first movie Alien, that's actually so well done.
It is? For a movie that old? You kidding me?
Yeah. It's so scary. They do the perfect effect of not really showing you what the alien... Ripley, of course. Yeah. Aliens 2 and 3 is good too, actually. But the thing is that Alien, they have different directors. So the problem is that there's this fundamental shift in, the way that the directors are trying to portray it. Maybe I should watch Alien 4 again. I'm not much of a movie guy, but for some reason, do you want to come over and we have a movie night?
You've been promising me to watch with me Troll 2 and Human Centipede. You've been promising to do that with me.
Oh, I'll watch Human Centipede.
Yeah, you're not keeping your end of the bargain, man.
I'm sorry.
I'm waiting to be invited over each Saturday night. I'm sitting on my couch with my phone just waiting for Tasteless to call.
I'm sorry.
And if he calls me, I think it's a special date just for me and him to do that. And he's like, hey, do you want to come out with me and the guys? And I'm like, yeah. I come out anyways, and I don't get enough attention. It's actually terrible.
I don't talk to you the whole time and stuff.
It's bad, man. I have to try to amuse your friends. I'm like,
it's tough,
so
man.
what do you like?
It's tough like a tasteless, man.
Yeah.
All right, it's settled. Now pick. You want to watch Troll 2 or Human Centipede?
I need to go with Human Centipede.
You haven't seen that yet, have you?
No. I can't wait, man.
Can't wait. We should cast it. We could cast us watching the Human Centipede.
That's actually a really good idea. Maybe we should do that.
We should actually do that.
Oh.
We'll like outdo Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, we'll
Crow is like on the phone. He's like yelling at me. I'm like, you're a puppet, Crow. You're a puppet.
And then he just falls down to nothingness because he is a puppet. He's just
I
a sock
call
on
out
the
the
ground.
reality of it. All right, here's our first player, MVP.
Ranked first in the GSL, going to BlizzCon, 3-time GSL champion, 1-time MLG champion, Lord of the Terrans.
He's looking like mystical in this picture.
I know, man. He is a final boss of StarCraft 2.
He's the ultimate final
Like, when
boss.
you're fighting through the 7 layers of hell, he's at the bottom.
He's actually like, yeah. He's like, okay, you know, like in some like Japanese style games, like when you get to the last level, you actually have to fight every boss again. That's what it's like.
And then you kill the guy that's supposed to be the last boss, and there's another boss.
But he's like, no, he's like not. You kill his human form, but he comes out as like a demon again, or
Yeah.
like he's like dead.
That's MVP.
And like you know that the game's almost over because you're in like some like ultimate like X dimension. You're like flying through space, standing on a rock.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking? You're like fighting.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That's every RPG I've ever played.
Yeah, man.
Well, there he is. Sickest badass killer.
He's actually like, he's just so good. And the real problem with going up against him is that he can do basically anything, and he will do basically everything and anything.
And just to keep talking about him, even though we're looking at Bomber right there, you know, I've seen some people arguing lately who's the highest skill player to switch over to StarCraft 2, and as of recently, like recent skill in StarCraft 2, the one that we've seen the GSL, the highest skill in StarCraft 1, is MVP. He hit a top 4 of an OSL and then switch over. So that's like unbelievable. No one else has really come close to that in recent times, like within the last year.
Bomber over here. Look, this guy, when he's playing at his best, it's actually the best I've ever seen anybody play ever.
Yeah, some of his games make me just step back and be like, oh my god, who are you? And then I'm like, oh, I know you really well. You used to translate for me in the Easter House.
Yeah. You used to live with Bomber.
He's a really friendly guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. The thing about Bomber is that he's not always consistent.
Yeah, he's definitely not. He's definitely not.
Like, sometimes he's like a god, and then other times I'm like,
sometimes
I don't know if you're like tired or anxious or what.
Yeah. Sometimes he doesn't pick his strategies perfectly, which is exactly what MVP does, but Bomber seems to have MVP's number. He has it on speed dial, Tasteless.
He definitely has on speed dial. All right, Metalopolis. We've been seeing more and more people eliminate Metalopolis. Metalopolis. I can't talk today. We've seen a lot of people eliminating Metalopolis.
Yeah. And in
nowadays.
fact, he is one that does it quite often.
Yeah, he is just done with that map. It might indicate that he does a lot more training on the ladder than in custom games. Belshire Beach eliminated by MVP. I don't really know why, but you know,
just a preference.
It is what it is.
4th match of the best Terrans with Will, the defending champion. I'm MVP. Defend his honor once again.
But that's how you do it. You say the 4th match of the best Terrans. Will the defending champion, I am MVP, defend his honor once again? And then I use that, I segue out of it.
Wow.
I go, well, we're going to find out soon as the game has now loaded. So get ready for MVP against Bomber, the 2 best Terrans in the world, facing off early on here. One will move on to the round of 8. The other will be eliminated and have to wait until the next GSL Code S season. I'm Tasteless with Azartosis, and we're here at the GSL. How was that? Was that good?
That was really good.
Thank you. Thank you to our sponsors. In the upper right, our yellow Terran, the Game Genie Terran. He is...
I am MVP.
MVP.
왜 무슨 일이죠? 오늘도 테란이 이기나요?
Now down to the bottom left. his opponent, perhaps the underdog in the situation, but he is a god nonetheless. His ID?
하필 밤.
I
대란 승리.
actually
문제 없습니다.
have never been so excited for a TVT.
Yeah, it's the
my
best
life.
TVT you can get.
Yeah. Go Terran! Oh
Some young
yeah!
fans out there.
Oh yeah, he had like the tongue of somebody in Kiss.
Yeah, man, he had a total Gene Simmons
He actually
song.
had like the tongue of Diablo. All right.
Maybe he's part snake. Reptilians are real.
Reptilians are real. I was like, if our audience doesn't know what reptilians are, there's actually like an underground conspiracy theory that like dinosaurs, like some of them survived and like they like make themselves look like humans or something, and like they secretly control everything. Like reptilians, like people think like what was it? I saw because I went on a site I was like reading about. I was like laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
Like, someone thought Larry King and like Mitt Romney were reptilians. Like,
Yeah. They're like, look at this Photoshop thing of them blinking sideways like a cat or something. It is funny, man. It's pretty hilarious.
Well, then I'm like, wow, there are real problems in the world, and you think that there are people that are secretly reptiles. And here's what's funny about it is judging from our large, massive audience base, I think we've just lost at least one viewer.
Well,
He's
one
like,
guy
they don't
is
get
like,
it. They're real.
yeah, I don't know if we lost him, but
He was already
because
lost.
if he actually thinks reptilians are real, man,
He's like, Bomber's a reptilian. I'm like, ah.
well, he's got to keep watching. He's pretty sure about Nestea, at least.
Oh, yeah. No, if there's going to be reptilian.
Hell, I even think Nestea's a reptilian.
All right. So we have a we got a Ghost Academy here.
Oh, sickness.
This is really interesting.
Bomber.
I think this is like the first time I've seen a Ghost Academy this early in TVT.
Well,
Actually, I guess just ever.
This is a really, really cool build, and for several reasons. First off, quick Ghost Academy. This is actually a build that will do well against any sort of Banshee play. They do a lot of
that's
damage
smart.
against light things like Hellions. But of course, this will probably be to get Cloak. I'm surprised he hasn't got another gas. Maybe it's not to get Cloak. Because, this might just be the Marine Ghost attack, but you can always get Cloak and just walk up in their base and kill a bunch of SCVs. But what you can also do is get Snipe. You walk up with your Marines and Ghosts.
Oh, you can snipe the...
You snipe any Marines.
Yeah.
And it deals a ridiculous amount of damage immediately to those Marines. You're going to basically one-shot them. And
Oh my god, it just got more
Yeah.
interesting.
This
Artosis,
is-
he's taking a gold base.
This is going to be really cool, man. I mean, without a bunker there, he's going to take out SCVs, Marines, everything so quickly.
Right now, Bomber going with the most unorthodox build against, right now, MVP, who's actually going for a very middle-of-the-road build. This is clearly a build where Bomber has actually tailored the strategy specifically for MVP.
This is pretty
He's
cool,
in,
man.
all right.
And he
I don't
actually
know.
only made one Ghost, and now he's making another Marine.
Oh my god, he spotted the expansion.
I'm confused that he made just one Ghost, but okay. We'll have to see how this goes. Normally you want to see like
Oh
a
no, this
couple
is actually
Ghosts.
getting bad, Artosis. He's going to kill that SCV. And the timing attack is going to be messed up.
Well, we do have a Hellion on the way. More Marines being rallied out by Bomber, getting combat shields as well. Yeah, and he has to send another SCV, man. It's pretty rough. Oh my god, and down goes that depot.
Yeah, I don't know. I think right now MVP saying, wait a minute. Okay, I think it was... Oh! Oh, nice. Killed about 3 Marines there. He's microing pretty well here.
Yeah, the Ghost has more hit points than Marines. It does a lot of damage to him. 20 versus light. And look at that. A lot of stuff being taken down right away. Oh, Bomber targeting that supply depot. But it does get repaired, and MVP holds for now.
Well, here's the problem right now for him is that the element of surprise is just gone. He knows that there's a gold base over here. He knows he needs to engage that pretty quickly here. And I find it hard to believe that with the tech lab now up, that he can actually defend from Cloak Banshees with that gold base and defend from any Hellions or anything else that's coming in.
Cloak Banshees and Hellions against just rallied Marines. Stim just starting out. Combat Shield is done. But this is bad news, man. Look, a Mule already going down. MVP ain't having none of it.
Says no.
Says Hercules, I'm still your father.
Is Hercules the one with the Achilles heel? Or is that,
No, that's Achilles.
Oh, wow. This is really embarrassing. I got to get out of here. Oh, this is the problem with doing live TV. Sometimes you say something dumb. What did I say in that last response? I, for some reason, thought that woolly mammoths and humans actually didn't live at the same time. And I was like, actually just completely incorrect. It's like,
you're like, woolly mammoths were the arch enemies of dinosaurs. No, tasteless. That's not actually the case, buddy. You're like, yeah, they wore armor.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure dinosaurs built the pyramids. You're like, oh, Nick, you can't say that on TV, man. That's so wrong. And like, as I said it, as the word slipped out of my mouth, I'm like, oh, you know what? Actually, I'm not entirely sure about this.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I guess it's just too late.
It's too late, tasteless.
I can either scramble and be like, I'm joking, you guys. Of course I didn't know that. Or
just go with it.
Or I can just go with it.
It's actually charming.
No, the best thing, well, the way to get out of that is you just make fun of yourself. Yeah,
that's actually very true.
All right.
So, right now, Bomber getting attacked by this MVP Banshee. He does have Cloak ready. This could be pretty deadly. We do have one scan ready, but only one.
Now remember, he doesn't know how many scans his opponent has, so it's a tough situation. Because you can always bluff and just move forward with Marines.
Killing off a lot of Marines here, tasteless.
I don't think Bomber's going to be in good shape in this game.
No, I don't think so either. MVP's playing a very good game right now. He is up on supply, not by a ton, but look at this. Just beautiful double Banshee harassment.
Oh, nice turret completion there.
You know, I like that you said that, nice turret completion, because SCVs never get the credit. Like, you have a Marine that takes down a Colossus, you're like, oh my god. But when an SCV like completes a crucial turret, there's no award for that SCV.
No, their names will never be in the credits of this, this game.
The Banshee has a kills count, but the SCV doesn't have a build count. And that's just sad.
Oh, they should do that.
Thank you for pointing that out, Tasteless.
No problem. Team player. Now here's the problem, is he's having to defend with Banshees in 2 locations.
Yeah. And they both have sick amounts of kills. 16 on the one in the main.
Oh, nice.
That one had 10.
Can I just point out he saw that the Banshee only had 2 hit points and only stimmed at 1 Marine.
It's pretty smart.
He was like, well, I'm actually the best player ever.
Next to the guy he's playing.
Yeah.
And the guy that the winner of this match is going to have to play. But after that, yeah.
Yeah. He's at least got the bronze.
Yeah.
All right, he's got a nice depot wall over here. The economy right now for Bomber is going to pick up. He's got enough SCVs at the gold base.
MVP, by the way, going straight into mech, saying, you know what? You know what beats Marines and Marauders? Mech.
And the thing is, he can actually turtle for a very long period of time before he has to move out. So the economic the economic advantage there for him for Bomber might go away. And what that means is that if I were Bomber right now, and since I'm sticking with this unit composition, I would take the other gold base.
Oh, that's a
Think about
cute
how smart
idea.
that is. Yeah,
that's a cute idea.
Take the other gold base.
You know, it's really far away, but he definitely has map control for a while. Here.
Don't do it, MVP.
You know, how long will Bomber keep map control? Probably a very long time here. MVP's going to have to turtle off 3 base while he really masses up his units. But especially on a map like this that's just so thin, that's really going to pay off for him. Bomber, though, definitely staying the course with his Marine Marauder, getting his medevacs with the starport, getting that reactor up. A 17-kill Banshee's back, Casey, so he's about to run out of cloak.
Oh, nice maneuvering here by MVP, actually going in the opposite direction, the less expected direction. He will get it.
The route less traveled, some may say. Oh my god.
What? MVP actually is like so smart. He like knew the way Bomber was going to move his Marines. And
you know what?
Actually, I'm going to go directly the opposite way.
Eric Schmidt better watch out, man. Google Maps is gone. It's all about MVP maps right now, man.
Oh, yeah.
He knows every route.
He does.
It's like you need the quickest route to 7-Eleven.
Erased from it. It's like, sorry, Dick Cheney, I'm MVP. Dick Cheney actually did that, right? He actually got his house removed from Google Maps.
That's hilarious, though.
I'm like, well, you were a crazy person.
No, he doesn't want the death squads to find him.
All right. We have SCVs mining here at the gold base.
MVP's getting multiple command centers right now because his strategy is very gas dependent, relying mostly on siege tanks with some Hellions mixed in, of course. But that's going to give him a mineral surplus, which allows him to get a lot of orbitals. It's a pretty sweet combo, Tasteless LOL.
It's pretty neat. Bomber is actually doing this exactly the way you're supposed to with mech. You can only send out a few units of Banshees or Hellions.
And while these Hellions are running into some Marauder resistance and a sick building wall in there,
what is he doing?
They're going to end up doing very much.
He's like, well, I guess I'm just going to lose these.
Yeah, it's
not okay, Artosis.
It's totally fine, Tasteless. Right now, we do have a big supply equalness. So
I think
it's a difference, and I looked at it and it suddenly equaled up. So I'm like, never mind. I'll be quiet.
I think what he realized is that there's actually no army in position.
And now he gains a lot of ground right there. Goodbye to all those Marines.
They got completely vaporized. And all he has to do is get these siege tanks in siege mode here, and it's really bad news.
Bomber kind of moving in the middle, but MVP just has to be careful. If he does not spread himself too thin, Mech, I mean, it's a proven thing. Mech kills Green Marauder.
Well, it just deals more damage. You just have to invest in those units for the late game. And now he's going to take the gold base.
Yeah, he's double expanding, getting his turrets up all over the place. He even has Vikings around the map waiting for medevacs. Just does not want to be dropped. Sensor tower is even going up. And MVP is actually playing this just perfect, Tasteless. He's going to be perfectly turtled. And then eventually what's going to happen is Bomber's going to have to run Marines and Marauders into siege tanks. He's going to lose them. He's going to max out maybe one more time, run him into siege tanks again, and we're going to go on to game number 2.
Probably. I do see MVP winning this right now.
Yeah.
Well,
it's it's like equal supplies.
Yeah, it's just
It's MVP is actually slightly up in SCVs, 61 to 56. But he's got 14 base already, which is a pretty big deal. Trying to snipe some with these Vikings.
Oh, nice. He is going to get it.
Does lose 2 Vikings in the way, but
these Marines are like, get back here! I love the girl that drove the medevac. Actually, is the girl in the medevac hot?
Hold on, let me find a medevac.
Find a medevac. Let's figure out if she's hot. It's like these are the things that matter right now.
Yeah, she is.
She's got a nice face, but she's got that suit on. You know what I mean?
She's cute.
She's cute. Yeah, she's cute.
Marauder's handsome.
How do you know the Marauder's not a girl? That suit just like changes
handsome
her
is
voice.
actually completely an adjective you can use for a girl. It just hasn't been used that way since like the 20s.
I know, but language is all based off of use, man.
Well, guess what? I'm bringing it back.
You're turning this around.
Everything on this map is handsome, Tasteless.
All right, well, he's got this great position on his opponent now. And this is the problem with going Marine Marauder.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of had to defend that gold base, but it's like, well, where do you go from here? I mean,
it's a cute idea. I liked his opening build. But, MVP is just playing this map to perfection. He's playing TVT to perfection here. We do have another factory going up for Bomber, so he's definitely going to get some more siege tanks, knowing he needs them. And eventually, we're going to have to see our players transition into battle cruisers. That's just the way this is going to end up going. And it's going to be a slightly harder transition.
You know what I actually wonder is, I mean, Bomber, I think, technically could just skip the entire mech route and just go directly for battle cruisers the moment that he sees MVP sieging up. I mean, why not just do that? Think about that. You can actually run into the Marines and Marauders, so they'll kill you, but just like a direct switch.
The one thing I'd be scared of, if he doesn't have some temporary additional siege tank coverage, he doesn't hit siege tanks in between there, now that MVP is maxed, he can actually just start pushing.
That's true.
He can just do a slow push across the map, and the battle cruisers will not be out in time to actually stop MVP. And in addition to that, MVP can just throw up a ton of Vikings. And Vikings beat battlecruisers, which means now Bomber has to go Vikings as well. And then he has Marine Marauder against Mech pushing him, and it's just like, ew. So, I mean, you need siege tanks in that equation as well. Excuse me. But we do have both players going pretty heavy starport right now. More and more orbitals being made by MVP. And MVP moving down this side. He does not want Bomber to have that base. Pretty powerful move right here. Put his Hellions in the front to take all the damage. Very well done. And if he secures that base, Tasteless, it's pretty good.
Yeah, he's starting to inch forward here.
But actually, Bomber is securing the base on the other side as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that he actually let him take that. He doesn't seem to quite be controlling that one point on the map very well.
Well, it's going to be hard to control everything at once. MVP's going to have to, switch back and forth. So, MVP adding all his starports as well. Fusion core is going up for both players. Bomber's finishing a little bit quicker, I believe.
Who's going to have the battlecruiser count lead?
Well, we'll have to see who chooses to make battlecruisers. MVP is choosing Banshees first, which I really like. No reason to put in battlecruisers right this second.
Yeah, might as well do some Banshee harassment first.
Yeah, add some Banshees in there.
Well, there's definitely no way the Bomber can just run into MVP. As far as I can tell, MVP just says, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not something that's breakable. How do you break that? It's unbreakable, like Bruce Willis.
Oh, that movie was pretty bad.
Yeah, it really was.
Actually, it wasn't as bad as I remember it, but
yeah, I think it was actually. I think you were right the first time. I was I've seen it multiple times, but I don't know, man.
They called me Mr. Glass.
Yeah, it was
because I break like glass. Okay, here we go. He's actually driving him out, doing a little bit more domination. Every small amount on the map you can take is worth it. Nice. Banshee's coming over, taking out the siege tanks.
You know, with no siege tanks there, MVP is free to push forward in various locations like we already see him doing.
There's not going to be enough breathing room here for a Bomber if MVP starts to take more of this map. By the way, he's been doing, we haven't really pointed this out, he's done such an amazing job of shooting down these medevacs, these Vikings.
Yeah. You know, right now, both of them getting basically every single upgrade in the game, getting ready for the ultimate battles that will occur. But Bomber's grasp on the map is somewhat tenuous. You know, MVP can't come too out of position because that is a lot of Marines and Marauders, and he might be able to get run around. But MVP is pushing slowly but surely forward.
He's being very patient with this. Yeah. He knows Bomber's good. He respects Bomber's playstyle, but he's basically just saying, all right, look,
If MVP simply keeps a higher Viking count and continues to push forward slowly, I mean, that's it. Nice amount of Vikings for Bomber right now.
Yeah, Bomber definitely doing a good job catching up here. You can see the small number of siege tanks that are around here for Bomber, mainly because he went Marine Marauder early on, means that the Banshees only have to shoot down 2 or 3, and suddenly an entire position is lost.
MVP starting to throw away his SCVs at the moment.
We'll see SCV's suicide here shortly. He cannot make any more units, so he has to free up supply. See?
Ravens being made for both players as well. MVP, by the way, has 20 siege tanks. Oh, I love how he targets a siege tank. He's like, well, maybe I can kill this. Because siege tanks are actually some of the only units that are so important right now.
Yeah. The siege tank remains important throughout the entire TV team.
MVP finds 4 Marines he had that he forgot about. Just sends them in. He's like, all right, guys, go.
I forgot about you guys. Oh, nice. Taking out some SCVs here.
Yeah, that's always annoying if you take out SCVs on gas, especially. Because you do have to mine gas with SCVs. Mules don't do that yet. We're waiting for the expansion pack to StarCraft 2. Imagine that.
That'd be hilarious.
Dropping mules on gas. Sick.
They drop the mule and it goes down that little tube on the top of the refinery.
Just shoots a lot of gas.
That's what the tube is for, is so that the mules can shoot down in there.
I like that idea. Well, we do have a couple battle cruisers in production for Bomber, as well as for MVP. MVP adding in some Thors as well. He does have +2 attack on his siege tanks. Which means those Thors are going to do 6 splash damage to Viking Clouds. We have 21 Vikings for MVP right now, 20 for Bomber. So that's going to be one of the most important numbers. And Ravens, of course, are going to count as well. 3 for Bomber, 2 for MVP. So it's pretty close, except for the fact that there's a Thor out. And there will be some more Thors as well. Excuse me.
Looks like the sensor tower is going to go down, and I think this is something that he really should have done a while ago.
All right, finally Bomber. Sorry, Tasteless, but Bomber is doing a very important move right now. He's going to throw some point defense drones down to stop turrets and do a big drop in MVP's main. This is the type of move he has to do right now as he gets further and further push.
All right, Vikings are coming in there, so he needs to drop that stuff pretty quickly here. One is shot down before he even gets the chance to unload.
And, I mean, those Marauders could do some decent damage, but battlecruiser coming in, negligible. Yeah. You get rid of that supply anyway, so it's fine. All right, so right now in the middle of the map, though, we do have a huge push forward by MVP. A couple Thors battling a battlecruiser. A battlecruiser actually with high armor. Pretty good against the Thor.
All right, with the Viking fleet is going to engage here. Who's got more?
Targeting down the Ravens first, being so expensive.
Run.
Oh my God! That's the new Hunter Seeker missile. That's pretty scary, Tasteless.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That was impressive.
Oh my God. this matchup's a lot cooler now that Hunter Secretness is quicker. Thank you, David Kim.
Thank you, David Kim. All right, Siege Tank sieging up. This expansion somewhat irrelevant. It doesn't have any minerals in it. Like again, it's more position that's lost, and that is going to give him access to the upper right center expansion.
It's still got about 1,300 gas at it, so that's it's a few less
gas
battle
force right now. The minerals too. At MVP, guys, you might have missed this, but he has 9,000 minerals and about 4,500 gas.
Bomber has no minerals. And 50 less supply.
MVP can actually throw his entire army away and remake it while not mining anything right now.
Yeah.
So Bomber
MVP,
is definitely going to lose this.
Well, MVP won this a long time ago when he slowly took the center with his siege tanks.
Yeah, I remember watching that one moment, and I'm like, okay, I think I see the end of this game now.
Yeah. I mean, your mech is better than Marine Marauder. But that's one of the things. That's one of the reasons why Bomber isn't the best Terran in the world. You know, he does things like this where he's like, well, I think I'll go Marine Marauder this game, and those are the games that you see him lose.
It's like a myopic decision because I can see the strategy being beautiful. I rush for Ghost. I take a gold base. Two unusual things at once. There's going to be a strategy that nobody would expect coming. But then the problem is that he's like, but then what happens? Now I'm on Crossfire. I'm stuck going Marines and Marauders. I need to defend an expansion that's far away. And my opponent, all he has to do is sit there and mech.
Well, we have the Thors coming in, running away from those battle cruisers. They want to target down Vikings. And
Thor,
it looks like
this I think is about to be GG here.
Well, you know, as soon as Bomber loses his whole air army, he definitely will have to leave. And as the battle cruisers go down, only Vikings left, that doesn't really do anything. The supply of Bomber plummeting right now. Bombing, some might say.
Wow.
And MVP absolutely manhandling Bomber. Despite it being a long game, he was in control forever.
He was a boss nerd. There's no denying that. He wore the nerd daddy pants. Wow, look at Bomber. He does not look happy with that. You know, he really just didn't have a plan for the late game. Well, what are you going to do after MVP takes the entire map?
It's great to go for battle cruisers in the late game, especially on that map. I mean, that's smart. Switch over to Sky Terran. But I feel when I see Bomber play, like, you know, when you're that good, sometimes it's hard to figure out exactly what you should do against someone that's just slightly better than you. Because who does he practice with to play MVP? I bet you Bomber with that strategy beats almost every Terran in the world, almost every single game. So he's like, well, this one I feel really comfortable with. I'm going to do it. But actually, let's look at this theoretically, Bomber. Your strategy is actually much worse than what MVP is doing. It's much, much worse.
Well, if you don't win in, like, the mid-game...
Siege tanks are the best unit in the matchup.
Yeah, because they can deal the most damage, and they allow you to control the most position. And on a map like Crossfire, it's very narrow, so you can cut the map in half, like, easier than any other map.
Yeah.
And there was this moment where I just saw that Bomber didn't have his army in position, and MVP just walked to the middle of the map, sieged up, and suddenly Bomber's like, oh, I guess the map is cut in half for the rest of this game.
And then, I mean, he starts pushing. It gets messy, man. So MVP just crushing that game. I think it's going to be very hard for Bomber to come back after a devastating defeat like that. It's, you know, while it's hard to see anyone get 2-0'd, it's like super hard to see MVP getting 2-0'd from here.
Yeah, no kidding. Bomber still could do this. He could still come back.
You know, I feel like MVP is going to choose all the right strategies like always, and Bomber is going to have a hard time against that.
Yeah,
we will see.
That's the thing about MVP. He's always actually doing the right build.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when he does command center first, I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess it makes sense against this player, you know, on this map. And then when I see him, like, cheese, I'm like, actually, I think this is probably the right moment to cheese, too. Like, I didn't expect that either, but I guess it makes sense.
No, he's one of the greatest planners in the game.
Yeah.
And you really have to give him mad props because he's also, like, one of the best macro, one of the best micro, one of the best strategy, but
he's like the RPG character where his stats are maxed out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
He joins your party just for a little bit, and you're like, oh, I wish I could have this guy forever.
I know. And
but it's just through, like, the end half
or,
of
like,
the
he
game.
dies, and I'm like, no, he wouldn't die. His stats are way too good, man.
He would be fine.
It's going to be like my healing character that dies, like my secondary one, the one that's not the hot girl in the video game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely, I do. Well, next map, Terminus.
This is a very different map from Crossfire.
It is. It's a much bigger map, but it's definitely a map that you can control with siege tanks once again, as is every map.
Oh, yeah. But you can get an additional expansion up right away.
Yeah, it's, you know, I would not hate either of these players for going for a Marine tank or Marine Marauder, Siege tank, like Clyde did against, I believe it was MVP, where you do several transitions throughout the game. Control the map with Marine Marauder, take extra bases, go mass Siege tank, switch to Sky tank. But even when Clyde did that, basically perfect transitions, MVP still ended up beating it. So,
Well, the problem with it's just MVP's like ranked #1 in a tournament. There's just like no other way to put it. It's like, well, I don't know. I mean, like,
Bomber,
he wins everything.
Yeah. It's so funny to say that against Bomber. It's like, well, Bomber, I don't know, man.
But I don't know if Bomber has a snowball's chance in hell, guys. I just don't actually know.
Seriously. I would trust Bomber to do anything, but this is maybe one I don't trust him so much on. I don't know what strategy he's going to choose here. I hope he chooses Cloak Banshee, though. He's so good at that.
I
he transitions out of Cloak Banshee like no other.
I could see MVP going for Command Center first.
Could see it.
You know what he might do? He's MVP, he might cheese. I could actually see that.
He could.
He could do that, too. It's so hard to predict MVP, but once the game develops, you actually see that, he is just like doing the right thing. It's so weird.
It's funny because another player we say similar things about is Jelizard, but it's two totally different tastes. Like MVP, when you finally see what he has planned, you're like, oh yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah,
that's so smart. And then when you see Jelizard do it, you're like, really? And then it works, and you're like, that's Jelizard, guys. Like he rolls a die.
Special rules for him.
Yeah, it's interesting.
We've been informed that the Korean observer is having trouble with his keyboard.
Oh, is he?
So we're gonna get that sorted out.
I spilt a Coke on it earlier. I didn't want to tell anyone. It's getting all sticky now.
Oh, sticky keyboards are the worst.
I had this one keyboard that I used for like 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
Like nonstop, and then I just spilt an orange juice on it. And I was like, oh no. And the next day it didn't work, and I was like, it's all sticky.
That is terrible.
It's all right. I went down and bought the same keyboard again.
I just got a new keyboard.
I did too.
Yeah.
It's good. Have you
Coach,
tried it yet?
To us. Oh my God! Yeah, it's amazing, man.
Yeah, it's a nice keyboard. I like it.
One of those Sky Digitals. It's just so good. It's like just the keys are just so amazing. Artosis,
yes.
we actually might have to kill time for a little bit here.
Yes, we do.
Sorry. Go ahead and ask me something.
Ask me something. You're pretty imposing today, aren't you?
I am. I'm needy.
Yeah, I guess
Go.
So. Okay. Tasteless. What is your favorite reptile?
Ooh.
I think you asked me that once.
Chameleon?
Chameleon. Interesting.
Yeah, man, chameleons are badasses.
Yeah?
Because their eyes go like this. And then they shoot stuff with their tongue and they grab it.
That's
They're
true.
catching nerd flies.
They are catching nerd flies, man. Imagine a nerd chameleon. He'd have to have 2 sets of glasses because his eyes are moving everywhere.
Oh, that is so interesting. He can only use contacts.
Nerds don't use contacts; they use glasses. So
some nerds use contacts.
I think he'd have to have just 2 monocles or something. You'd be like the sickest.
Monocle chameleon?
Top hat on.
This is like sicker than Pirate Bird is monocle chameleon?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He's got like his really weird like toad, like webbed hand, like holding like some brandy in like one of those stemmed glasses, like with his 2 eyes looking everywhere with monocles. He's got a vest on with a pocket watch.
Oh, my God, he has a pocket watch. Monocle chameleon. You heard it here. We just came up with it. That is so funny. The imagery of a chameleon with 2 monocles. That's genius. See what we did here? The keyboard breaks down. What do? We just make a beautiful joke.
There you go.
There you go.
The game is now starting.
It's happening. So. It's like, looks like you're going to have to observe, Dan. You're like, oh, now we're going to do a terrible job casting.
Yeah.
All right. So get ready. For a game, I think the Korean commentators have more to say because we're still on camera for some reason. But the game is now loaded, so get ready for MVP up against Bomber. I timed it out wrong. They're still talking. All right.
That's okay. I'll just say what's happening through the whole game.
Ask me something else.
Ask you something else? Okay, let me think about it. 1 second. We're going to go into the game. I'll ask you after your intro, okay?
Is this song from the video game? Probably. It just... The beat